Is death a solvable problem? 5 videos. 5 mechanisms. A blueprint that exists, piece by piece, in laboratories around the world. We know why we age. We understand the cells involved, the damage that accumulates, and the biological systems that can be restored or influenced. We have seen how other species found different paths to longevity and what human intervention may require. But science cannot answer the final question. What comes next is not biological, it is human. Begin with what serious researchers actually say, not the optimists selling miracles, and not the skeptics dismissing the field entirely. The scientists studying aging through trials and peer-reviewed research disagree in ways that show a field actively moving forward. The debate has changed. A decade ago, the question was whether aging could be slowed at all. Evidence from senolytics, epigenetic reprogramming, rapamycin, caloric restriction, and long-lived species suggest that aging can be influenced through multiple biological pathways. The question now is how far that can go. Is there a biological ceiling, a limit built into human biology? Or is extreme longevity less a matter of biology and more a challenge of understanding and engineering the systems that drive aging? The current human longevity record belongs to Jean Calment, who died in 1997 at 122 years old. The next oldest verified humans reached 119 and 117. The numbers appear to cluster, and in 2016, a paper in Nature argued that this represented a biological wall, a maximum human lifespan of around 115 years that no intervention could reliably overcome. But other researchers challenged that conclusion. They argued the data was too limited, the statistics were uncertain, and the analysis confused natural lifespan with lifespan under future medical intervention. That distinction matters. There is no known law of biology or physics preventing human cells from functioning beyond 120 years. The Hayflick limit, the number of times most cells can divide before becoming senescent, comes largely from telomere shortening. But telomeres can be maintained through telomerase, an enzyme already active in cancer cells and reproductive cells. The limit exists because normal human cells suppress telomerase, not because biology makes further lifespan impossible. There is currently no confirmed biological ceiling. What exists is a practical limit created by mechanisms we are only beginning to understand and influence. Those are not the same thing. A boundary we observe today is not necessarily a boundary we can never cross. The question is no longer only whether death from aging can be delayed. The question science is slowly placing in front of us is whether it should be. And that question has 3 serious arguments against it. Arguments that deserve honest consideration. The first is about meaning. Philosopher Martin Heidegger argued that death is not simply an obstacle to human life, but part of what gives life meaning. The fact that time is limited creates urgency. Love matters because we may lose it. Achievements matter because our opportunities are finite. Remove the deadline, and perhaps life loses some of its importance. But this argument assumes that meaning depends entirely on scarcity. People who survive near-death experiences often describe the opposite. More time does not make life less meaningful. It often creates a deeper appreciation for ordinary moments. Scarcity can create urgency, but it may not be the only source of meaning. The second argument is about resources. A world where people stop dying from aging would challenge systems designed around shorter lives. Food, energy, housing, and social structures built around a 75-year lifespan would need to change. This concern is real. But the demographic challenge many countries face today is already the opposite. Declining birth rates and fewer young people supporting older populations. The problems of a post-aging world may look very different from what we currently imagine. The third argument is about progress. Societies often move forward because generations change. New generations bring new ideas, challenge old assumptions, and replace systems that no longer work. A world of 200-year-old humans could risk concentrating power in the hands of the same individuals for centuries, allowing outdated ideas to remain in place. But this assumes that older people cannot adapt. and that progress depends mainly on replacing generations rather than allowing them to coexist. These concerns are not imaginary. A world with extended human lifespan would create enormous social and ethical challenges, but they are not arguments that longer lives are inherently wrong. They are questions we would need to solve alongside the science itself. Here is the honest part. Science can explain aging, develop treatments, and define what is technically possible, but it cannot tell us what kind of life is meaningful, what is worth pursuing, or what a fair future looks like. Those are human questions. What has changed is the timeline. These debates once belonged to philosophy. Now they are becoming practical decisions about research, regulation, funding, and access. The future of longevity is already being shaped quietly before society has reached agreement. The question is no longer whether we will face this choice, it is whether we will face it consciously. We began this series with a simple question: why do we age? The answer was anything but simple. It involved cells, molecules, evolution, and systems that took decades to understand. We discovered how aging works, how other species found ways around it, and what a possible human solution might require. But the question changed. It moved from why, a question of biology, to whether, a question of choice. Science has not failed by leading us here. It has done its job, reducing the unknown until what remains is a decision. Why we age was only the beginning. Whether we must, that is the question ahead.